Hello. Oh, I'm wearing the wrong glasses, darn it. I was gonna wear the glasses like I did last time because I did pretty good leaving those on for the most part. And these ones I already want to take off and on, but I'm gonna try not to, as I always say I'm gonna do. I'm sitting back in my old spot, which I know seems kind of weird to sit here without Leslie. Sorry. Maybe I should start over. Yeah, we're gonna start over. Hello. Oh, I don't like that hello either. That just sounds ridiculous. See, this is one of the reasons those people that record videos often don't record, because you get in front of the camera and you're like, I don't know how to talk anymore. And then I start, finding hair in my mouth, and that's just not a good look for anybody. But speaking of hair, I still don't like it. I don't. I really wish I hadn't cut my hair. And it's just the way it is. It'll grow. We all make mistakes with our hair. And you know what? I think I talked about this last time. You get this haircut and then you think, I don't like it, so let's cut more. I haven't cut it again since the last time we talked, but I've been tempted because I just feel like something's got to change. But I know you can't just keep cutting it and hope that it's going to get better, because at some point you have to just say, it's time to let it grow again. So that's where we're at. It's fine. It's all good. I don't care. I care a little bit, but not a ton. Done talking about it for now. So, yeah, I'm sitting here because I think it's a little bit more, like I have things laid out in front of me, and hopefully I will not be as scattered sitting here. That's always been the hope of having the magical table. And I remember when Leslie and I first started recording a long time ago, and the first time we sat at the dining room table, we felt so empowered. There's something about having a table in front of you that you just feel so much more organized. So that's what we're going for, more organization here today. I've had a stomach bug and I need to go to the store, but it's one of those things where see, I got it Friday night and this is Monday. I'm still a little not sure I should travel all the way to the store just yet, if you know what I mean. But we'll just see what happens as we do. But one of the main reasons I had to record today is because I knit this cute little hat and I want to send it to my great niece. So I wanted to do a pumpkin hat. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, I wish I had remembered about Dole Valley Girl Knits, because she has the cutest pumpkin patch beanie pattern. Oops. Let's see if I can show that to you. It's so cute. But I had already knit this one, and then someone else posted a picture of their pumpkin beanie, and I was like, oh, I remembered that she had that. I didn't remember that she had that. That's the problem. But when I saw that picture, I was like, oh yeah, she does have that cute pattern. So if I had it to do over again, I would do that. But I'm not redoing it. This was Knitmatic Pumpkin Beanie. And this was a free one. And it's really cute. Look at that. Cute little hat. And I used the exact yarn that the pattern called for, which meant I had to order yarn, which is just ridiculous. I have so much yarn. That's another story that maybe I'll talk about, but if I remember. It's not like I wouldn't talk about it, I just might forget. But I don't have a lot of orange in my stash, so I had to buy this, and it's Barocco Vineyard. Where's my mind? I don't even like wine. Vintage Barocco. And it's the color that they called for. Excuse me, it's like a number. It's kind of weird, but it's the number that they called for because it's exactly the color that I wanted. But what's funny about this pattern is it's super simple, right? I got it knit all the way up to about here, and I realized I'd done it wrong. Since it's free, I'm not giving anything away. It's knit 5, purl 1 round, and then you knit around, and then you just repeat those 2 rounds. I had just done the knit 5, purl 1, or whatever it is. Knit 5, purl 1. So it was just a ribbed hat, and I was like, okay, does it matter? Yeah, it did, because it definitely looks more pumpkin-like. So I ripped it all the way back to the, down to here. But it's a baby hat, so we're not talking about a big, huge commitment of anything. But I just think it's adorable, so I can't wait to send that off to them, because pumpkin season's just around the corner. Which I'm not a huge pumpkin. I'm more the peppermint. I can't wait for all things peppermint. But pumpkins are cute. So, and I mean, it's not like I haven't had a piece of pumpkin pie or two in my life, let's be honest. So last time I recorded, I had the little dilemma with my socks, not remembering what the pattern was. And then I figured out that it really wasn't even the patterning, and I wasn't going to go back. Well, I did. I ripped it out. It wasn't, again, we aren't talking about I knit a sweater and then I have to go back and, knit this much of an extra large sweater. We're very low, but still it's so daunting when you've knit something to have to rip it out. You guys know that. It's just not that fun. Sorry. I really don't like to have but a lot of my shirts, I don't know what this style was, but a lot of the shirts that I have had these pieces of fabric that kind of came down and then you're supposed to tie them here. Well, I don't like that either. So I cut them off, which probably wasn't brilliant, because now I always look like I'm, trying to be some whatever that I'm not trying to be. So if I'm flashing you too much, just know it's completely not intentional. I did not do that on purpose. So anyhow, so I got my baby hat, my socks. I started another pair of socks in my little chiplet bag, or whatever he calls them. I think they're so cute. I actually started another sock. This is kind of funny. I started another sock. I was going to do DK in this yarn that's just super squishy, and I love it. I've used it for a few other things. Got it started, and guess what pattern I was doing? This same one. I was like, oh my gosh. I think it's called the DK, maybe baby. Yeah, it's maybe baby DK socks by the Cozy, that's as far as I'm going to take you. Cozy Knit Girls, Cozy Up Girls. All these years, I still can't get it right. But anyway, I obviously really like it. It's just ironic that I've knit this pattern several times and I still can't quite get the name. I could write it down. And in fact, that's what I did. I did make some little notes here on sticky notes, because that's how high tech I am now. These socks I started, so I had to rip those out, the DK ones that I'd started, because they were just going to be too big. So I just abandoned that and went for these. This is the Freddie Beach socks by Nancy Wheeler. My lighting in here is kind of dark, but if you've watched for a while back when it was Leslie and I, we have these lights up here, and we had my nose, I got hair, I don't know, like I've been wrestling a cat, and I don't have a cat, so that would be interesting. But we had these lights up there that when we bought them, they had that, they're kind of like yellow lights, kind of antique looking. And I had told Michael, no, those won't do. I need lights here for when we record. Well, so that was fine. Then when we stopped recording, I said, well, you can put your yellow lights back in, because, we're not going to be needing to record out there anymore. So he did. Well, I don't they're nice for atmosphere, but we're not really atmosphere people. We're not ambiance. We don't sit at the table with low lighting and share a meal, It makes it well, now I can't have them on because I would glow yellow. And if I'm out here reading, I can't read by it. So, but I'm not going to tell them to switch it back because it just doesn't matter that much. But that's why I kind of look dark, I think. I thought about recording outside because it's super nice out, and we got this nice table for outside, and it's got a nice big umbrella. Michael got me a fountain. It sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. I love it, but also a little bit like someone's peeing. So you kind of have to acclimate. Nobody's peeing. It's just the fountain, but it's I wasn't sure if sitting out there, for one thing, it'd be pretty bright, opposite of the problem here. Or maybe it is the brightness that's causing me to look like a big shadow. I don't know. But a big shadow with the white around my face, it's quite the look. But then also sometimes when you're recording outside, you just don't get very good sound. So I might try that one of these times just to see how it would sound. Because of course, pretty soon it's going to be raining all the time and I won't be sitting outside. But it's so nice now to be able to be outside and just be outside. You know, I used to love the rain. I think like the whole time we lived down in Gladstone when we were recording, and then when we first moved here, the rain was so comforting to me. I just loved it. And I've kind of gone back, because before that I was a total sun worshiper. You wouldn't know that looking at me because I'm pasty and white, but I used to lay out in the sun all the time, lay in our pool, always would, back in the days of going tanning, just abused my skin. But nonetheless, I loved the heat and the sun. But yeah, then I went through like, I don't know, a good 10 years or so of just wanting it to rain. Now I'm kind of inching back towards liking it to be sunny and warm again. Not warm like some of you. I'm talking Pacific Northwest warm. Like today it's going to be 78 and I'll be changing into a tank top when we get to that point. So I don't mean like anything over 80 and we're sweating too much. So although sweating would be good because it gets those toxins out, and clearly I need to get rid of some toxins in my body. Kind of a side note, but I'm not drinking out of my normal water bottle. So since I just got sick, you know, after you're sick, you kind of want to clean everything that you've touched or done anything with. I thought it was food poisoning at first, but it's lasted a little bit long for that. And just the way Michael got it first, and then we've concluded it's probably a bug. But so I was cleaning out my water bottle, and I thought that I'd cleaned it before. Like, I mean, I know I've cleaned it before, but I thought that I'd been cleaning it adequately. And I don't know if I've ever done this before because I don't remember. But this time I decided to take a Q-tip into the, you know, the other one has this flip top like this, but then it has a straw thing that comes up. And I've taken the straw out, I've run it all through the dishwasher, I've done all this stuff. But this time I took a Q-tip and ran it up from where the straw attaches to the drinky part. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about it, but I stuck it in boiling water, boiled the crap out of it. Well, not really, because guess what? I took it out, I took the Q-tip, and it's in the garbage now. It's so disturbing. Now, obviously it hasn't killed me yet, so, you know, there is that. It's not like you have to be completely crazy, but after you have like this digestive eruption for days, you're just a little bit more careful for a while about what you put in there. And so right now I'm in that stage where I'm trying to not eat. I'm thinking this is a really good opportunity to let my stomach shrink, and you know, because I've lost several pounds. It's great. And I know I've talked about this for a while. I mean, really since my hysterectomy like 10 years ago, or maybe even a little bit, maybe it's more like 12 now because I keep getting older. And so you've probably heard me talk about it if you've watched me a long time, you know, this whole, oh, I'm gonna get healthy. I'm gonna try to lose weight. I'm gonna try to eat better. And then I fail. And then I'm gonna do it. And then, but we've all been that way. You know, we all have that struggle in our life, whether it's what we eat or what we watch or what we do. I mean, whatever, we're all broken. It manifests itself differently in different people. And I like junk food. Like, I like to eat junk food, not even like poor quality junk food. It's just, it can be good quality junk food. It's still just not good for you. And that's the stuff I like. It's like, it brings me comfort. It's baking cookies, making cake, all that stuff. Like, it just has this tie over me of like comfort, and it just makes me happy. But, you know, you look under that thin veneer and it's like, okay, but you're really overweight, and like, that's bad enough. Like, I don't like to be overweight, but you know, the health issues that it has brought with it, the the back pain, I mean, that's really my biggest complaint. Well, and then you can't tell me, I mean, you can, and you might be telling me this right now, but it seems like I just had norovirus in March. That's not that long ago to then again go through this pretty significant, not like hospitalization or, you know, I didn't need to be on IV tubes or anything, but I never used to get sick very much. And so in 6 months to have 2 pretty significant digestive issues makes me think it's possible that if I was feeding my body better fuel, I would fight off these bugs more efficiently. And I know as you get older, these things just escalate. And so I'm just going to try again, you guys. I'm just going to try. I wasn't even going to talk about it because you hate talking about it. And then everyone's looking at you like, oh, look, you're still where you were a year ago, or you're bigger. You failed again. But I mean, who hasn't failed at something that they've tried at least a few times, right? So all that to say, if you have any healthy snack or healthy meals that you like, put it in the comments. And, you know, if there's like several, I'll share them, or you can look at them yourself. But I'm always stuck with that. Like, what's a good snack? Chips and beer. I mean, that's fun and good, but you know, something other than something like that. Like, I know you look online, I've looked online, and you see all this stuff. Oh, have 10 almonds. Okay, then what? Or, I mean, right now that doesn't even sound good to me. So, and neither does chips or beer, trust me. But just saying that there's a lot of things you can look online and you see all these like packaged answers of, oh, have a hard-boiled egg and a half a cup of cottage cheese, or, you know, things that you're just like, no, but I want something that I like is going to make me think I'm eating something good. Now, I do trust, just based on how things were made, that once you kind of break away from all the crap that you might eat, that and you start to develop better eating habits, because I know they're just bad habits, that some of that other stuff will actually be more appealing to you, and then some of the stuff that you used to eat will be repulsive. Because I've been there, I've done that, I've quit the sugar before, and then when I started eating it again, it was like, ew, this tastes weird. But I powered through it and got right back on the saddle. So anyway, I'll stop talking about that, but just, oh, anyway, back to the water bottle. That's what started this. So now I'm in a conundrum. This is a glass one, and I like it fine. I kind of think maybe glass is better than stainless steel. You can run them through the dishwasher. No straw, not a bunch of stuff for anything to get weird. But when I drink out of one of these, I'm always scared because I usually end up spilling it on myself. Okay, that's twice now I didn't do it, so I'm doing better, I guess. All right, the Freddy Beach sock, super cute. Barnyard Knits is this awesome color. I think it's sand and sea, or it's something to do with the beach. And I was going to, because I had another skein of it, I was going to pull it out and tell you exactly what it's called, but I don't have it anymore. Because I did broker a deal, a yarn deal with a friend here on Instagram, a new friend. And I was able to come to what I think we both thought was a good agreement. And I sold her 100 skeins of my yarn. And I felt good about it. Not good like compared to what I paid, but it's never about that. It's never about what you paid for something. And I think that she felt good about what she got. So I just feel like I'm out from under this mountain of yarn, because it literally was. I went through and decided what I was keeping, what I was getting rid of. And that part was hard because, like I've talked about, it's all so pretty and I like it all. But I still have over 100 skeins, so I am not going to be running out unless I need orange. And actually, I've got plenty of that left too. But so going through the yarn and then getting out from under a bunch of it, it's kind of reinvigorated my, like, I just don't feel so burdened anymore by it all. And that whole mentality is what I'm trying to keep myself from doing with my stamping stuff. Now that I'm back into stamping, I'm trying to not go totally crazy with buying too much stamping supplies. Some of it, yeah, I mean, like yarn, it's consumable, and so you have to buy cardstock, which is totally reasonable. But then I go crazy with all the pretty, you know, all these pretty papers and stuff. I love them. I'm a paper whore, just like I was a bag whore and a yarn whore, which I know isn't really a nice term, but forgive me. Okay, so I pulled out, and this is still one of my favorite bags by Darlene, Bags by Awesome Granny. It's this insanely huge bag that she did. It's like extra large or something. And it's got these Christmas dinosaurs on it. But what I love about it is, well, yeah, I guess it's Christmas because there's like Christmas trees and poinsettias and stuff. But the colors just make it to me that it just looks floral. Oh, and they've got little wintry hats, and I guess it's snowing. So whatever, I don't care. It's a year-round bag. I love it. It's huge. And I pulled out my building blocks blanket. Oh my gosh. Building blocks blanket by Stephen West. It's just this fun. I started this over a year ago when I went back to visit Renata. And I have not made it very far, but you know, I've knit lots of blankets or crocheted blankets in between then and now. But it's so, I just started this row too last night, but these rows are super long because I made this thing like it can fit on a king size bed. But it's so fun to just, it's a DK weight, and I'm mixing back and forth between different DKs and fingerings and holding them. And there's some brioche sections and there's some whatever. It's been, I really don't want to pull anything off the needles because it was silly. We were watching something, I'll talk about that in a sec. I shouldn't have started this row because that's silly to have that because then I can't really show it, but it's just fun. It's going to be lots of different colors. This bag has so many different yarns in it that I just keep thinking, oh, I'm going to put that together with that. And it just doesn't matter because it's just going to be this crazy blanket of different colors and different stitch patterns and stuff. So I like it. And I also pulled out speaking of Stephen West, I pulled out my, I think it's Bubbles cardigan that I've reportedly hated. Like the last few times I've talked about it, I've just, it's made my blood pressure increase, and not really, but I hated that sweater. Well, I pulled it out when Lori was over the other day and I was like, you know, this isn't so bad. So it's to the point I should have brought it out, but maybe between now and the next time I record, I will actually pull it out. I'm partway done with one sleeve. Need to do the other sleeve, and then the button band, and I'm done with it. It's this huge, massive sweater, and so I think I'm back on track with thinking I'm gonna do that sweater. I've come this far with it, so I think I'm gonna do that. So watching, I shouldn't even confess this. This is like a complete waste of time, and we try to not watch too much ridiculous stuff. We're kind of true crime people, not the fake stuff. We don't want it for the sake of gore. We like the investigative and the court aspect of it. But we took a little break from that to we watched the first 2 episodes of, I can't think of what it's called, Chimp Love, maybe? It's like the Tiger King of the, 2019, but about chimps. And oh my gosh, it's so disturbing, heartbreaking, but oddly entertaining. So there you go. Judge me if you want. It's just whatever. Yeah. So anyhow, we've been watching, we were watching that last night, and then that's what I should have just not started that next row, but I did. So that's all the stamping that I have. Oh my gosh, see, I don't even know how to talk anymore. That's all the knitting I have. I haven't crocheted anything, but I don't have a lot of stamping to show, but I did this tutorial by Sunny Day Stamping. Oh, I didn't bring it out, the actual page, but it's these shadow box cards, and this is just a template for me, but they're so cool. And so So if you're a stamper, I know I've said it before, it's Sunny Day Stamping. And there's so many great card resources out there now. I love it. But she's who over the last week or two, I did several of these style. And then she also, if you get on her email list, once a week, she'll send out this email with different tutorials that you can print. And then there's also an accompanying video on YouTube. So if you subscribe to her channel, or you don't even have to subscribe, you can just go to her YouTube channel and watch her tutorials. If you want the printout, you need to be on her email list to get it every week and then print it or save it, because I didn't, lots of them. And then once she's done that, then it goes into her tutorial store. And so you don't have to pay for it if you're responsible and you check your emails. I get delete happy. I don't know if you guys do that, but I love to just delete stuff. I go crazy deleting stuff, and then sometimes I regret it. So this was the fabulous pinwheel cards that I've only made one. And this was kind of, and I posted this on Instagram, but this was, and the cute envelope and the little birdie. This was kind of like, I'll use this. It'll either go in my cards for kindness box or I'll send it to someone, but it was kind of just a sample. But they're so easy to do and they look so cool. And then I stamped a little birdie on the inside. So that was that one. And then another tutorial of hers recently that I did, I think I showed some cards, was this one where you make 3 at a time. Just you grab 3 different pieces of the fun paper and then you cut them at this like diagonal kind of thing, which is so hard for me. I know it looks simple, but it's like doing anything at random is really hard for me. Even though if I try to cut straight, it won't be straight if I were to do it on my own. But to intentionally cut something crooked is really hard for some people like me. But this is just such a fun, quick way to make some cute cards. And I've made 6 of those so far. And maybe you've seen some of them because I did post some pictures on, I think, Instagram, maybe over on my Facebook, now that I joined the Facebook again for the stamping stuff. And so that's just a great resource. It's been fun. And then one other one, I don't know if I showed this one, but this was another fun tutorial that I think might have been from the Jackie Klompen Stampers, but isn't that cute? And this is what I do, is I make, a lot of times I'll just make the sample and then I'll put all the measurements and stuff, and then I just have a box of different cards like this. I may have already showed this one, I'm sorry if I did, but anyhow, that's that. So that's about all I have to show for stamping, because I have things kind of, you know, going on back there. But I ordered a glass mat for my floor, like a floor mat for my chair to roll around on. I can't wait. I should be flying around in no time. Michael showed it to me because my floor mats, we kind of bought just a cheapy one and it's on carpet. And so you'll kind of get going and then you get in these ruts and you're like, okay, I know that I weigh more than I should, but seriously, my chair should roll. But it's going to be rolling pretty soon. And I asked him, like, are you sure? Like, how much weight will this thing take? And he looked, he's like, it's like 1,000 pounds. You're okay. So, whatever this thing is, I have been talking about this thing, trying to unload it on someone for years. See that? Nostopine? We're going to call it a nose pin. If you would like a nose pin, if you don't even know what this is for, I think it has something to do with winding something or doing something. I guarantee I'm never going to use it because I had it when we were down in Gladstone and I tried to do a giveaway with it. And I think I did have some people enter for it, and then I don't know, we probably forgot about it. We always had so many giveaways. So if you would like a nose pin or a nostopine or whatever it's called, comment below, United States only, and I will try to unload this on someone. I know I could just donate it somewhere. I could just use it. Never mind, I might keep this. I don't know. Let's just open it up to that if you want it. And maybe I'll do a giveaway of a skein of yarn. I haven't figured out which one yet. What let's do that, because I haven't done, let's just get back into doing like podcast stuff that makes it fun. Let's do a skein of yarn, and it'll be fingering weight. I mean, I'm kind of low on fingering weight. Just kidding. So just put what kind of colors you like what's your favorite color, and we'll figure out something. Well, I'll pick a winner on the next time I do this, and we'll find a beautiful skein of yarn to send you as a prize, because why not? So that's about it, except that I am going to talk about something that somebody asked me. Somebody asked me, well, she kindly said on here last time, asking about my walk with God. And I thought, you know what? So glad you asked. Kind of. It's kind of one of those things that you're like, do I talk about this? Because when Leslie and I podcast, we kind of had this rule. We're not talking politics. We're not talking religion. We're, excuse me. And that worked fine for us for the time. Excuse me. Whenever I talk on these podcasts, I always get this, I feel like I have to hack. I don't smoke. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't really talk out loud very often. And so I'm just not, I don't know. I might just have to sound funny. But I am going to have to practice talking out loud, because I'm in the midway point of all these appointments of getting, unfortunately, a partial denture. Not like something I'm really, oh yay, I'm getting a denture. But, I'd had this big jack-o'-lantern space on this side of my face, and then I lost a tooth over here. I don't even know if I talked about it or not. I think that might have been in the video that I decided not to share. But, oh my gosh, I had like this period of time from maybe 12 to 20. I mean, that's a pretty good window of time where I just didn't take good care of my teeth. And, the damage done, like, hey, it happens. But I've taken really good care of my teeth for the last, 25 years, 30 years, whatever. But, I don't even want to do the math there. Did that even make my age? I don't know. But all the stuff that's been done in my mouth, all these root canals and crowns and stuff, they're just breaking down. And once they break down too much, there's just nothing they can do. So I lost another tooth over here, and I was like, I'm not going to spend $40,000 on implants in my teeth. If I had that kind of money that I felt that I could feel good about putting into my body, like improvements, I guarantee you there is $40,000 worth of other work that I wouldn't mind having done. And I'm not talking about getting big lips or anything like that. I'd still want to look human. Going back to that chimp show, that gal, sorry, but she's done a little too much work and she's looking too much like a chimp. But anyway, follow that up with my walk with God. So when Leslie and I recorded, we did not, we were just not going to talk about God, even though we met by going to church together. And, but I totally fell away from my walk with God, to the point where, one of my good friends, she'd send me texts just trying to, because she was someone that we used to go to church with as well. She's godmother to my children, and, just a great, great godly friend. She would send me these messages. Well, how are things going? How's your walk with Jesus? And I'd be like, I don't have a walk with Jesus. I'm not walking with Jesus, and it didn't pain me to say that. I was almost indignant about it. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not walking with Jesus, and I think back about that now, and I think, oh, thank God that I didn't stay there. And I do thank God, because it's not like, oh, I'm so smart, I figured things out. He pulled me back to him. But to make probably a way too long story short, I was not brought up in a Christian home. And this is no indictment if I say anything about a religion or anything that you are fond of or affiliated with. I'm not dogging your religion. My experience was in the Episcopal church that I was brought up in. I didn't even know what was in the Bible. Like, to me, it was just this book that sat on this stand, and it was like for the holy people. I didn't know what was in there, had no idea. And then, you know, once I moved up to Oregon from California, when my mom and dad divorced and stuff, then like at 12, church was no longer even on the horizon. We never talked about, we never prayed, we never did anything. There was no base there for anything. But I knew my mom believed in God. And I mean, if you'd asked me, I would have been like, yeah, I believe in God. Sure, Jesus, you know. But anyway, then in my like early 20s and stuff, I was again drawn back to the Episcopal Church because that's what I knew. I felt comfortable in that. I was very comfortable with the, you know, I knew when to kneel, I knew when to stand, I knew when to sit, I knew how to hold my hands for communion. I'd been confirmed in the church. I knew all the prayer, you know, everything. I knew all the stuff. Still didn't have what would be a real relationship with Jesus. Then went through some things that I wasn't sure if I'd even talk about, but and I don't know if I will. Not because I don't want to share it. It's just I hate it when I get all cryy pants on here. Well, when I was 19, I had an abortion. Worst decision of my life. Then I did it again when I was like 26, I think. And that's common, just so you know. Like you've done like the worst thing in the world and then you do it again. It's hard to talk about, obviously, but yes. So anyway, just to get past all of that, I did end up becoming a volunteer at the Crisis Pregnancy Center, but before I could be a counselor, I had to go through this thing called HEART at the time. They still have programs like this. I don't think HEART is still around, but it stands for Healing Encouragement for Abortion-Related Trauma. So I had to go through that because of my experience with abortion. And it was like this 12-week Bible study. It was great. And on the last day of that Bible study, I found out I was pregnant with Renata. So it was like just this amazing act of physical forgiveness. Like I felt like God gave me another chance. And because he did. So anyway, fast forward, you know, like I raised the kids in the church. Everything was great. Still didn't read my Bible a ton. Like I knew different Bible stories and I would try, you guys, I would try to read my Bible and I just wasn't into it. I didn't get it. I was just like, I don't know. It just wasn't there. I didn't feel that interest. So, so because I didn't have a real deeply rooted relationship based in fact that the Bible is true, more on that in a sec. When my kids got older and they started being confronted with things that were drawing them away from the faith, I wasn't rooted enough in the faith to be able to, all I did was flounder. And then I basically worshiped my children. I put them above God. And they became idols to me in my life. And the reason that chokes me up so much is, well, for several reasons. They were a gift from God, the Creator, who gave me this whole second chance at being a mom. And then I put them above him, and then it hurt them. Because I failed to be able to guide them in fact, in factual information. All I did was, you know, walk away from it myself. But that's not where this story ends. So once that became clear to me, I was able to repent of it. And you know what has made the difference in my life? my walk with God, my walk with Jesus, that I so foolishly wanted nothing to do with reading the Bible. It really started with a devotional by Chuck Smith, I think, yeah, the Calvary Chapel guy. My friend who was checking in on me from time to time, she sent me this, and I wish I'd have brought it out here, but I didn't. But it is a through the Bible devotional, so it's not just, like life lessons about your finances. It's actual Bible passages from the Bible. And it kind of got me interested. And then we started watching Athey Creek, the church that my friend was always sending me links to. I finally started watching it, and I really liked it. Then I finally got my husband to start watching, and he liked it too. We appreciate this pastor's teaching. He's kind of down to earth, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but we really like him. And then I started for me, a lot of it was really kind of investigating the Bible, like what makes it true. I had to go down this road of finding out, like, what makes these things the Bible, Well, as you probably already know, but I didn't know, that it was 66 different books by over 40 different authors written over 1,500 years, and there's not one contradiction in there. There's tons of prophecy of some things that have already come true, and then some things that are yet to come true. And these are things that you can check. And I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to tell you that you should believe this based on what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you don't trust the Bible, or you've never really thought about it, look into it. It's an amazing collection of books, holy inspired. You can look into a lot. There's a lot of information out there. If you're someone who's like, I don't like the Bible, I don't like Christians, I don't like, whatever, then yeah, you can argue yourself right out of it. And I'm not here to try to change your mind. That's not my job. I'm just telling you, my experience has been that the more I looked into what made it, what it even was, then I started reading this book called The Bible in 24 Hours with Chuck Missler. Mind-blowing stuff. It's just incredible. Awesomely incredible. And then, you can't help but think, you look at this life of Jesus, which no one can deny. If you're honest, you can't say, well, I don't even know if Jesus existed. He did, okay? It's factually supported. And so you can think, okay, the guy was either insane, which he'd have to be insane if he was making all the claims that he made about himself, or he was who he said he was. So you have this guy who has these 12, he had a lot of people that followed him, but let's just take the 12. And then you got to knock off the one, Judas, the bad Judas. Anyway, you take these bumbling guys that totally, when Jesus gets arrested and crucified, they scamper. They're like, I don't know what we just spent the last 3 years doing, but we don't want any more of it because this is scary. We've got people that want to kill us now. And then something changed in their lives, to make them all, except for John, go to their death as martyrs, proclaiming what they witnessed in this man, God, Jesus. And so that was always, when I really started thinking about it, that was kind of moving to me, who's going to die for a lie? There's something I wanted to clarify, and I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity to see, does it sound like I'm standing in a men's bathroom? See the fountain? I wanted to clarify, I said, in referring to the apostles, that people wouldn't die for a lie. And obviously that's not true. People have died, a lot of people have died for lies. What I meant was, would you die for something that you knew was a lie? So the fact that Jesus resurrected from the dead they either knew that happened or they willingly perpetuated a lie that they were then willing to die for. So I just want to clear that up because I know, sadly, people are still dying for a lie. So, okay, there you go. And oh, there's just so much I could say, but you don't need to hear it from me. There's a lot of great resources out there if you're interested. Case for Christianity, or Cold Case Christianity. Can't think of his name right now, but I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist by Frank Turek. He's got a podcast, great books. There's a lot of resources out there. One thing I did when I started reading the Bible, my friend sent me this. It's 3 volumes of books this size. John Corson's commentary. And the reason they're so big is because everything in here, there's from the Bible, then his commentary. So you don't have to have a commentary that's 3 books thick like this. I love it. I really, really like it. But you don't have to do that. You got to do what you got to do. And all I can say is I implore you, if you don't have the relationship with Jesus that I'm talking about here, if that's not something that you already have, and if Christian, like Frank Turek always says, he asks people, if I could prove to you that Christianity is true, would you want to be a Christian? And there's people that just would say no. And if that's you, I mean, I am not here trying to twist your arm or change your mind or anything. All I can do is tell you that, well, all I can do is tell you, and then my mind goes blank. It's not blank. There's just so much I want to tell you. But don't waste another day being on the fence about this. And if you already know that Jesus is your Savior, but you feel like I was, like, yeah, okay, Jesus, get to know him better. Hearing is through the Word of God. You got to know what the Bible is talking about. And it's not boring. It's not, it's very interesting if you take the time to read it and break it down. I admit to you, I read the stuff and a lot of times I'm like, my eyes glaze over. But then when I read the commentary on it, I'm like, okay, all right, I get it now. They're very interesting stories. That's the thing, is when someone asks you this open-ended question about your walk with Jesus, it's like you don't want to leave anything out because you just feel like it's this huge, important, there's nothing more important. But it's a lot to throw at you. And I would say most people that even watch me at this point, to be honest, are probably following Jesus. They're probably walking with Jesus. But you know what? That's okay too. That's awesome. That's great. Because we're supposed to encourage each other too, especially in these times that are coming. There's dark times, and it's not just Christians saying that, and it's not a doom and gloom thing, but who can look around and say, oh yeah, things are going great? They're not. So know where your eternal resting point is. No, that sounds so silly. Your eternal rest, it sounds like something you'd hear at a funeral, and it's not. That's not even how I look at it. I can't wait to die. Not like, yay, I want to die right now, but eternity is where we're going to have our real life. So anyway, all right then, that's that. Talk to you later. Bye.